Hi, I'm Don Peoples, President of Butte Central Catholic Schools, and welcome to We Are BC TV. Today we're taping from Center Court at the Maroon Activity Center, and I'm very excited to have a special guest with us today, and that's our new principal at Butte Central Catholic Elementary, Mr. Paul Richardson. Paul, welcome, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Don.
Paul is in his first year as our principal at Butte Central Catholic Elementary. He's in his fourth year with Butte Central Catholic Schools. He worked 2 years at Butte Central High School as a health and physical education teacher, as well as an assistant principal at the high school. And then last year he joined our elementary school as the assistant principal and moved into his first year as the full-time principal of our school, and he's done a great job, and we're excited to introduce him to the BC community. So Paul, I know you have a great background in Catholic education. You were raised in a Catholic school environment, and as an educator, you've been both in the public and in the Catholic school system. Maybe just tell our BC family a little bit about your history and the things you've done in education so far.
So this is my 15th year in education. I have been a Catholic school educator for 13 years, and this is my third as an administrator. I've actually only been in a public school for 2 years as a teacher or as an educator. And then I went to Catholic school all through from kindergarten through 12th grade, including a master's from Gonzaga.
Now, I know you're a native of Tacoma, Washington.
Correct.
And you grew up in Catholic elementary school, went to Bellarmine Prep Catholic High School, and also served on their staff as well. So I know that's sort of the roots of your Catholic school background.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to go teach at the high school that you graduated from. It was a really special place. So I was there for 8 years teaching.
And I know part of your background also, you're very involved with athletics. You're actually you've served Butte Central as an assistant football coach. You coach in the local youth baseball programs in Butte. And I know another aspect that was a really exciting thing that you brought to our school system was the retreat program at the high school and at the middle school. So you've been really involved with youth ministry and those kinds of things. So you certainly have a great background and bring great Catholic education leadership to our program. So
thank you.
Well, let's get right into it. Let's talk about our school. I think that this year's been really difficult being in the pandemic, and we went back to school after being out of school for 3 months last spring, and we had to develop all kinds of new protocols and new ways that we structure our schools and the whole educational program. But we've been blessed in our school that we've been in school probably 90% of the days since August. We did have a couple hiccups with some positive cases and some quarantines, but for the most part, we've been back to school, but it's been difficult.
Definitely not the best atmosphere to be, or I don't know if atmosphere is the right word, but it's a tough year to be a first-year principal. Lots of challenges, but challenges I look at as an opportunity for growth. So it's been a good year. I've been blessed with a great staff, a great faculty, a lot of support. Thank you for your support, and I think it's gone about as well as it possibly could.
I agree, and I think you mentioned the staff, and it's really hard to teach in COVID. Teachers are teaching remotely and as well as students in class, because we do have some students that have chosen to stay remote this year. And but the whole day, all the protocols, it makes it hard. But our staff has been remarkable, and we're going to talk specifically today about our junior high programs. But from our preschool all the way to our 8th grade, our teachers have been remarkable.
They really have. I couldn't ask for anything more. So very thankful, and we're very blessed in our community to have such a great faculty and staff.
Well, and I know it's been, like you said, it's been what a challenge to be a first-year principal and to be in the most unusual, unique school year in 100+ years. And I think you've done a great job with that.
Well, thank you.
But let's talk a little bit in depth about our teachers. I think one of the great things we have is our teachers are extremely dedicated. It's no secret they're making some financial sacrifices to be in our schools, and we're just blessed to have that commitment and dedication. But they're so caring, they're so dedicated, they care about each student, and I think that's the hallmark or the strength of our program.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's a great family atmosphere, very committed for our students, and I mean, there's a love and a care there. It's like a parent, and creates a great community.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've noticed. As hard as it has been to be a teacher, just what incredible dedication. They're working extra hours. They're facilitating the online aspects of our school. They're dealing with, a day where they don't have any breaks. They have to eat lunch with their students. It's really a demand, but what a great response they provided our students and our school community.
For sure, no doubt about it.
Well, along with let's maybe focus a little bit about our junior high. And we'll have some other segments later on where we're going to talk about. We've already spoken and had a great interview with our kindergarten teachers, and we'll talk about our first through fifth grade programs in a later segment. But today, let's really focus on our junior high program. And junior high is a challenging age for young people. They're not little kids anymore, but they're not quite high school kids who are, so it's sort of the bridge gap in the education process where they go from elementary young kids to, they're moving on and preparing for their high school life. So it's a challenge, but it's a lot of fun as well. But, one of the things that I think that is the root or the foundation of our programs is we're a Catholic school. We have Christian values. We incorporate prayer, service programs, faith. We want to be a faith community. So tell us about that.
Well, I think one thing that definitely sets junior high apart, we have a great students council, and they do a great job at leading the rest of our junior high and service projects. We also have a leadership program with our Character Strong, and they've done some great service projects through that. For example, they created blankets for our nursing homes, and they also are leading a food drive right now. And we just kicked that off this last week, actually. But I think one thing that makes it really distinct too, like we talked about the teachers and how much love and care they have, but just the one-to-one interaction that our students have with their teachers. I mean, right now, we're able to split each of our grades, 6, 7, and 8, into 2 sections, which makes 10 to 15 kids in each class. And that's something that we've really talked about in our junior high with our teachers, how much they love with our block periods and the longer time that they get to spend and the relationships that they get to build. So, very special.
Yeah, and that atmosphere is so important. But, when you look at the actual faith formation and prayer opportunities, we've had to modify a little bit. Some of it's virtual, but we have an amazing school chaplain in Father Craig Hanley.
For sure.
I know in the last couple of weeks he was at the school to celebrate Mass and do the ashes with our students on Ash Wednesday. He's in Mass every week with our kids, and that's a really important part of our school.
Without a doubt. And the time that we get to gather with prayer, even virtually, I get to do it once a week with all our students, and then we have Mass once a week. The prayer and the faith life, the transformation of kids' hearts, that's at the heart of our mission. And, not that all the other stuff that comes from that, like character development and everything, isn't important, but faith is definitely at the core.
Yeah, and I think it's been a remarkable effort by our school community to continue that. When we have to, I know it's really sort of a cool thing that only two classes get a joint father in the gym for Mass, but then it's you're down there with your iPad and all the students watch it from their classrooms.
Yep.
So everybody participates. All of our kindergarten through 8th graders are in Mass once a week together, and that's really special that we've been able to maintain that through the pandemic and all the protocols.
For sure.
So I want to ask you, your arms get tired from holding the iPad? So
I need one of those tripods. Yeah. We ordered one. I don't know when it's going to be in.
But Father Craig's been amazing. He celebrates Mass with our high school once a week, and he's with our elementary school once a week, and that's who we are as a Catholic Christian community.
And I told some parents this not long ago. Even though this year's created so much challenge, there's still so much grace in it, and it makes you appreciate it that much more when things are normal.
So I agree. Well, let's talk a little bit about our school environment. We've talked about the caring teachers, the faith components, the small school atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's a family atmosphere, and I think that's really special. And that personal attention that our teachers provide, the family atmosphere is what sets Butte Central Catholic Schools apart.
Exactly. It's a safe environment where everybody is welcome, where everyone's supported. We have kids that have come here this year, and just the atmosphere itself is what sells it to our kids, and just that loving and caring support from students, from teachers, from parents. It's a neat thing to be able to walk through the hallways to go into classrooms and see just how special it is.
Well, and in that 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, which is right now our middle school or junior high, that family atmosphere I think is extremely important. And those kids are at that transition period in their life when they're going from young people, young children, and they're evolving into young adulthood almost into high school. But that family atmosphere, the caring atmosphere, and the personal attention. No student is going to fall through the cracks at Butte Central Junior High School.
Exactly.
I think one of the things that we are constantly striving to be is a great academic institution. Our teachers are outstanding, but I really think we have some unique aspects that makes us special academically also. One of the things that you've been instrumental in the last 2 years is developing a one-to-one program for our school. So, maybe tell our family out there, what one-to-one means and what it means to our educational program.
One-to-one is basically every kid in our system has a Chromebook in 6th through 8. Our K through 5, every kid has an iPad. I think COVID created a great window of opportunity with so much remote learning to be able to institute this program. It provides students with the piece of technology in their hands that, we all know, we all have cell phones that, you can access any piece of information in the entire world. And the amount of apps and programs right now for education, specific to education, are really pretty amazing. Definitely not of the philosophy that, a kid's going to sit with their Chromebook all day and that's the only learning that they're going to do. But it's a great extra tool in the educational world. So I think it's opened up a lot of new opportunities for our kids with technology and for our teachers in our curriculum.
You're right. I think it's a tool in the toolbox.
Exactly.
And if you use it properly, it's a great tool. And, what a blessing we have in our school to have every student has their own device. And, we're preparing kids for the technology future that they're going to be, challenged to go out into in the next, few years in their lives. So it's been a blessing, and we've had incredible donors who have, we have smart TVs and all the different technologies in the classroom that our teachers access, and our teachers are working hard to be better and better with their technology applications too.
It's almost more work for the teachers with all the professional development that goes into it. So,
right.
And they've done a great job.
I was really impressed with going into one of the classrooms last week, and they had the particular grade had 2 students that were remote learners, and they were on the smart board, so they were joining in with the class that day. So they were with their classmates, albeit remote, but we have that technology that we can do that, and those kids were just thrilled to be there with their students, and I know they're looking forward to being all together, hopefully in the fall, and that's our prayer for the future. So,
there's actually one of those students I've been in the classroom on the smart board. That's the only time I've actually seen him. They haven't even stepped.
They haven't been in our school other than virtual so far.
Yeah. So to be able to interact in that way is really cool.
Let's talk about some of our specific academic programs. I know that in 5th through 8th, we've introduced a accelerated math program. So
correct.
That's been really exciting, and maybe talk about that.
So our accelerated math, we offer 2 sections of math for each grade level, starting in 5th grade, and it basically puts the student on whichever route, getting them ready for freshman year to either move into geometry or algebra or pre-algebra. And I think it's been very successful so far. It's 2 different curriculums, but it definitely challenges students and definitely forces them and challenges them in a way that they can be the best math-specific academic way that they can. And we have a similar program in science as well. So,
well, that emphasizes that personal approach. We're trying to meet each student where they're at and bring them to their highest academic level. And that's a strength of a small school and a strength of our schools.
Yep.
In English language arts, I know one of the things that our middle school staff has really tried to emphasize in the last couple of years is an emphasis on writing.
Yep.
And that is so important. We talk about technology, but you have to be able to write to go into high school and into higher education as well. So that's an important skill that we really believe is important to start at that elementary and middle school level.
Yep. It's not just English, and we actually have a separate class with a separate curriculum specific to writing, which our students take. So it's basically a full-time English curriculum course with an added, almost like an elective, but it's not an elective, just specific for writing.
Yeah, those writing skills are so important for kids.
For sure.
Which is great. You mentioned earlier in the interview the Character Strong program, which is new to our middle school. And that's an exciting program, again, designed to help middle schoolers, junior high students, meet some of the challenges of life that they're now facing as 12, 13, 14, and 15-year-olds.
So the Character Strong program, I was introduced earlier over the summer. I was really looking for something that built leadership, and one of my former coworkers at Bellarmine mentioned this program that they use there at the high school. And it's an amazing program across the board, from social, emotional, teaching support to character building to leadership building, and we've actually integrated it into our K through 5 as well. But specific to the junior high, it's more of a leadership course, along with some supplemental social emotional well-being type stuff. So
I've heard a lot of great things about it.
yeah,
So
it's a great
exciting.
program, for sure.
You know, one more program before we sort of get to the conclusion is the Junior Bishop Thomas Scholars Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's been challenging this year, but that's another program that we implemented last year to help enrich academic learning. And it's available to all 6th, 7th, and 8th grade kids. But again, it's trying to provide personal attention and some additional learning opportunities for kids, and just an emphasis of our academic excellence that we want to pursue.
Mm-hmm. So this is for the highly motivated student. They meet once a week after school, and a typical section would be 3 weeks, where they're going to do, for example, next week, Coach Sampson from Montana Tech is going to do a session on leadership specific. We've done other courses in math and in science, and it's basically an enrichment program beyond the classroom. So, in the classroom, you're going to get specific standards, specific curriculum, but this program allows the student to reach farther. We're really excited about it.
Great. Well, aside from great academics, we have some outstanding extracurricular opportunities. I know we have a full athletic program. Our 6th graders compete in the citywide program sponsored by the Rockies program. So they're sort of in the city leagues as 5th and 6th graders. But our 7th and 8th, we have a full-fledged athletic program for our students, which is really important.
Yep, for sure. In a normal year, this year we had to modify things a little bit with COVID. So football was modified. We're still hoping to have volleyball. But basketball seems to be going pretty well with twice a week and some 3-on-3 things. But normally in a normal year, it'd be football, volleyball, and then basketball, wrestling, and track. So we're still even hopeful that maybe some wrestling this year. So we're working on that.
And I know we have a great athletic tradition, and in a few moments here we'll have our junior high kids in the gym and work with our varsity coaches, basketball coaches. So we have that great partnership from our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We'll be here working with our varsity coaches here shortly, which is really cool. I know another thing that you've really tried to emphasize this year is a very active and proactive and a very involved student council program.
For sure. And I think this year the challenges that our student council has had to face has made them definitely much better and having to be more creative than ever. And we started the year with a really robust program. We had to take kind of a little bit of a break, but now we're starting to back up again. And the one thing that I've really told them is we really got to find creative ways to really foster community. I've told you this before, that sometimes it feels like we come in our pods, they go in their pods from class to class, and they leave in their pods when school is over. What kind of ways can we got to be better than that, and what kind of ways can we really create a fun, creative atmosphere for our junior high students specifically. And they've done an amazing job so far, and they're definitely a very giving group that are always looking to serve, and the ideas that they come up with, I'm amazed at.
Yeah, it's been very positive for sure. Let's focus a little bit on next year. We still have almost 3 months of school left in this school year, so there's a lot of learning and a lot of school life left. But I think we're all starting to hope that next year will be different. We can get back to some semblance of normalcy. But I think there's great optimism for our middle school. I think our teachers have been remarkable. Our kids have been remarkable. They've battled through the challenges. But I think we're really excited about the future. And I know the new ideas that you've brought into the school are only going to help us when we open up next August. Hopefully the pandemic is much better than it is right now, and we can get back to more community gathering and all that kind of thing. But I'm very excited about the future of our school. So,
for sure. I mean, like I've always said from the beginning with COVID and how to deal with it as a school, it's a challenge that's going to make us better. So I'm really excited, especially for our junior high group, how they have met the challenge of this year, how we're going to come out of this, and how much better that we're going to be, especially as a community next year. And once we get to open things up a little bit more and do more service opportunities and do more retreats and not just stick with the having to be so creative virtually, I think it's going to be really neat and exciting to see what next year brings.
Well, I'm very appreciative of your great work, and I think, again, it was a tough year to be a first-year principal, but you've persevered, and our school is exciting. We're very excited about the future, and I really look forward to growth in our middle school. And that's one of the things we'd like to emphasize today before we conclude is, we want more students in our school, and so we'd really like to invite 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students to consider Butte Central Catholic Elementary junior high programs, and we look forward in the next few months to be able to invite kids to visit us. Some of it will be virtual, but we certainly have the opportunity to come visit. We'll follow protocols and all that kind of thing, but we really encourage people to take a look at our school. If anybody is interested in a visit or would like to come in and visit with our administrative team and our teachers, give us a call at 406-782-4500, and we'd love to tell you more about our programs and show you what we have and show you who we are. But, Paul, it's been a great pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for your great work, and we're very much looking forward to a great future in our pre-K through 8, but our middle school, I think, is going to be a really exciting place to be a student.
For sure. It's a special place, and like you said, we're looking to grow, and if you're interested, I'm more than willing to meet and talk more and expand. So, yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Don.